Okay, now we're going to talk today a little bit about how to set up autoresponders on your website. And one of the things about the website is that are really simple to do is set up autoresponders. If you go right here onto the website, you go from dashboard over to leads, and under leads you will see autoresponders, and we just click on autoresponders. What an autoresponder is in each one of these cases, whether somebody's a buyer that has requested more information for being a buyer, or a contact form, or somebody who's an IDX inquiry that has asked about how to visit a house, or more information on an IDX property, or an IDX registration form where somebody has just signed up onto your site. Sorry about that. When they're getting it's from the website. This happens whether they sign up at midnight or whether they sign up at 2 a.m. or whether they, whenever they sign up. If you're busy with a client, they're going to receive this email immediately, and that will give them some bit of information. And everybody likes to set up autoresponders, but think carefully before you do, because there are a couple of things that you want to consider. For example, whether we're talking about an IDX registration form, which is a common autoresponder where you just basically say, I'll be in touch with you soon, thanks for visiting my website, that sort of thing. If a seller contacts you, there's a bunch of different information that you may want to put in. And by default, if you go over to seller information, you hit edit, what you will find is you'll see it's got your name. Now obviously I'm not super admin, I had that in there. And my default email will be here, as well as my default name, which if you set it up correctly would be your name. You can also have it carbon copy you, so that it'll send you a copy with exactly what gets sent to the other person. That way you make sure that they get it. The other thing that you can do is choose at this point whether someone who receives, for example, a seller's information is going to receive which template they're going to receive, whether it's going to be generic or military, or whether it's going to be the agent template, which has more information about you as an agent. And they'll also be able to choose whether it's HTML email or whether it's just plain text. In almost every case, I would suggest that it's HTML email. Okay, down here it has a default message that's put into the website by default, and I would probably change that in most of these cases, especially if you think about the one we're doing right now, which is actually a seller email for seller's information. In fact, I've put together a few sample documents, sample ones that you can use, and the first one I have is a seller one. It says, thanks for visiting our website. If you're looking for an agent to help you in marketing your home, it's important that the realtor you choose have the ability to provide you with the most exposure and do what they say they will do. Let me start by proving both of these to you right away. If you reply to this email with the following details about your home, I'll be happy to use them to prepare a competitive market analysis for you, as well as to show you why what I do is different than other real estate professionals that you may have talked to. Getting the right real estate professional does matter. And then it goes on to ask for various details about their home, which you'll need if you're going to put together a CMA for them. And you can use this, or you can edit. Feel free to edit it. And so what we would do is we just copy this, right? And I'm going to go up to here, and I'm going to right-click on it, and I'm going to copy it. Now what you would do is just type it. This document, by the way, is on the same page that you're seeing this movie on. So if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see it. And what that allows you to do is do the same thing I'm doing, which is copy it and paste it into your website. And so now I'm going to go back and put it into the website right here. And when I paste it, what's going to happen is it's going to ask me. Actually, it didn't. It put it right in, which is great. Sometimes it asks you for permission to do that. All right. So I'm going to eliminate a couple of spaces just because it spaces things a little differently than some of the others, and I don't want it to look like that. So what I'm going to do is kind of tighten things up here a little bit, make it look, and this works just like Microsoft Word does, right? So I'm going to eliminate some of these extra spaces and get things cleaned up. Sometimes that happens when you paste them, and you just all I'm doing is I'm hitting the delete key and it's pulling them back up. So I hit delete until I see the stuff appear above it. So, and you don't have to choose it to be, you don't have to set it to be as long as what I did. But in my case, if somebody's going to be asking for information about selling a home, then that tells me that they're a pretty unique individual. They're looking for that information. They're looking on my website. They've obviously gone to my website and determined that they're comfortable enough with me. I'm sorry, it keeps asking for this. And then they want information about it. So I think at that point I've pretty well qualified them, and I'd like to ask them for this information. So if we do this, we set the template, we put our sender name in, and then all we have to do is hit Save Changes. Okay, so now if we go back to autoresponders, it says action successful, by the way. That's how you know that everything's done right. You go back and you hit autoresponders. You go down to seller form, edit it. Notice it still says inactive. Did you see that? It still said that it was inactive, and that means that we haven't said to make it active yet. So I'm going to go ahead and make it active. If you click on yes, it'll become active, and I'll hit Save Changes. And so now anybody who requests a seller on a seller form on our website, where they say, give me more information about selling a home in Virginia Beach or whatever, then they will then be sent this automatically. So it's a really quick way of getting them an instant piece of information, and if they reply to that they will that they're sending you information about their property, and you can set up an appointment. So that's a quick way of doing that. And you want to go through and do that with the autoresponders that you're comfortable with. I want to explain to you, the IDX registration form is virtually anybody who's coming into the website. So that needs to be a very clean little form that says, thanks for visiting the website. If you have any needs, please get in touch. I want to make sure that your user experience is as good as possible. And if there's anything I need to do with the website, please let me know. An IDX inquiry is when someone inquires about one of the websites. And we can go on and on up, but basically the IDX password reminder is where they ask about they've forgotten their password when they've signed up, and they want to send it to them. That just needs to be a little something that says, thanks for coming back to the site. Here's your password so that you can get back in. You don't have to put the password, obviously. They know that it'll be sent to them via the website. Contact form is somebody where they ask you to contact them, and buyer obviously is where somebody asks you to for more information for buyers. Maybe that's for a guide or whatever. And the approval form, I'm having a blank on right now. I will be able to tell you that again shortly. It's and I remember it because we looked at it to see what it was, but I'm having a brain freeze right now. But that's how you go through all of these, and you can see which ones are active, which ones are inactive, and you don't have to have them all active. I think that's another thing, is it's okay not to have them active and actively, be sending out an automated email. If you're going to be following up with them anyway, sometimes you may find it better to give them a personal response rather than give them an automated response. And that's important when you do this. So anyway, this is how to set up autoresponders and be able to go through them and to make it so that your website will respond automatically to people who are visitors to your site.